Yes. In the moment. Room temperature.
Okay, we're going to go ahead here with chapter 9. Hear about the appearance of the demon Vritrasura. So, chapter begins. Sukadeva Goswami is telling about what happens. Vishwarup has 3 heads. He's the priest of the demigods. He has 3 heads. One head to drink somaras, another head to drink wine, and the third to eat food.
So, Brahmana is drinking wine?
Huh?
Brahmana is drinking wine. So he has done lot of austerities.
Drinking wine.
Well, he has a separate head for that.
It's difficult to understand when they say drink wine. Is it like some beverage in mode of goodness?
Prabhupada said, you cannot directly perceive the kingdom of heaven, the king and its inhabitants. And there is, no one can go to heavenly planet. So when we hear about these people having 3 heads, it's not so easy for us to understand without limited intelligence. Just like, people talk about going to the moon, they don't understand. Anyway, how to understand things? We have to hear. Shruti. Everything must be received by hearing. We ourselves, we have limited, we are conditioned because we have 1 head. We think everybody should have 1 head. And when you hear somebody's got 3 heads, 1 head for drinking, he's drinking wine. And drinking wine, it's not like, people drink here in this planet. With 1 head you do everything, right? You're drinking. But at least in the heavenly planet you have a separate head for drinking.
Maharaj, I think in Canto 5 it states that the wine they drink in heavenly planets, it increases their life, it gives them sustenance.
Well, that's somaras.
Okay.
Yeah, if they drink somaras, they get pious activities by drinking somaras. And it's a different thing. Anyway, the demigods were related to Vishwarup from his father's side. And so he was chanting mantras for the demigods. Indraya idam swaha idam agne. Like that, he's chanting mantras for the different demigods. But he also offered oblations to the demons without the knowledge of the demigods. He was offering for his father's side, but he was also thinking of his mother's side. Right? Son is attached to the mother. Yeah? Son usually will have qualities like the mother. The daughter's qualities will be more like the father, and the son's qualities will be more to the mother. Mother will be more affectionate for the son. So Vishwarup had affection for both sides, and he was offered these things. He wanted to be good to both. Why I should just do it for one, let me do it for the other. I'm doing the yajna, let me do it for both of them. Of course he didn't reveal his mind. But when Indra understood what was going on, then Indra was very worried. As mentioned here, he became extremely afraid of being defeated by the demons. And in great anger at Vishwarup, he cut Vishwarup's 3 heads from his shoulders. So, was that a good thing to do?
No.
First of all, why not?
You are the
Because
guru.
Brahma had asked him to tolerate. He knew that he was from the side of person.
Supposed to talk? And
You are the guru.
he did it in anger, great anger. So that's a very dangerous thing, right? 3 gates leading to hell. Lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man must avoid them. So the different heads, the head for drinking somaras became a francolin pitch or partridge. And the head for drinking wine became a sparrow, and the head for eating meat became a common partridge. So, I don't know.
It's a bird, partridge.
Their partridge is a bird. So Indra was powerful, and he could have neutralized the sinful reactions. Killing a Brahmana, sinful. Right? You get sinful reactions. But he accepted the burden of these reactions. He suffered for 1 year. And then he distributes the reactions among other people who have taken blessings from him. The earth, the water, trees, and women. He utilized that he'd given blessings to these 3 different features, these 3 different personalities. So now he's going to give them back. You get something from someone, in the future you have to pay them back, you have to give them back. You have to be careful what you take from people, because it comes back, right? So Indra had taken blessings, he'd given blessings to these 4 different things. Now he's giving them some chance to repay him. So to the earth, he gave to the earth the blessing that what would happen, that it would fill up. Ditches would be filled naturally. Right? That if you have some holes, and some will gradually be filled up. The earth will flatten, will fill up. So what happened when he gave the reactions to killing the Brahmana to the earth?
Deserts.
You get deserts, right? On the planet you have deserts. And then what he gave blessing to water, it could mix with anything. You have milk, you can mix water with it. You have fruit juice, you can mix water with it. You boil potatoes, maybe you're making mashed potatoes, you could put water in it, you know. So water mixes with anything. So what was the reaction in water?
Bubbles.
Bubbles, right. And trees, you can cut branches and they will grow again. And so the reaction was sap from the trees. And women, with the women, they had the blessing that they could enjoy lusty desires even during pregnancy. And the reaction was? The women also got something like...
Uterus is the...
Huh?
Oh, menstrual.
It's menses.
Yeah.
Menstruation.
Menses.
Yeah.
More that sap, it is said not to drink, but sap, from that sap we get so many things, important things. Huh?
Yeah, but some sap, not all sap, some it will be different from different trees.
That gur, jaggery, gur, we get from sap of that dates tree, palm tree,
Mhm.
like that.
That's a different thing.
Oh, that.
Okay, so we're going to have a little exercise for you. Let me see. We can have 3 groups, right? We can have the ladies group, and then the men can make 2 groups. And we want you to discuss here some about this statement here. Prabhupada says, Persons destined to live in deserts are understood to be sharing the reactions for the sin of Brahmahatya, the killing of a Brahmana. We want you to discuss what is the proper and improper manner of using this statement. Right? And there's another one. The other question is this one about women. And women as a class are very lusty, and apparently their continuous lusty desires are never satisfied. So what is proper and improper application of this statement? You understand what you have to do?
Maharaj, like each group will do separate, or you all do the same thing?
You all do the same thing. You can do. Each one. There's two. I've got another one somewhere. I have to find it.
I'm not a student.
Or maybe they didn't know and because of their body. During the deserts are shared. The earth is taken to share with the deserts. People are born in deserts are supposed to be seen as people are sharing the Brahmatya. No, they are not Brahmatya. Brahmatya, the reaction is heavy. So, the right understanding, one of the understanding could be that living in the desert is Brahmatya. The reaction of Brahmatya is hell.
Yeah, that would be the improper way to say it to them. Like, oh, you're from the desert. Oh, you're a sinner. You're a sinner. To say, oh, so you must be a sinner. It's the same way, like saying, like,
Living in the
women are less intelligent. So every time you see a woman, you're like, oh, you're less intelligent. I'm not listening to you, isn't it? So in the same way, we just immediately see somebody and just say, oh, from the vibe, oh, from the sin, from the, you killed a Brahmin. That's it, isn't it? To make statements to their face.
Proper understanding is that their reactions, because their Brahmatya activities. In the previous chapters, they are
Even Egypt now, majority of it is a desert. Also,
And there's one more here on the board here. A non-Vaishnava, one who is not engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is considered a fool with a small quantity of green substance. We want to hear proper and improper use of this.
9.5. So, this you have got proper understanding. Or the feeling of
Okay, you have to finish quickly, huh?
Mayapur will show that part again, the middle one, the woman has a glass are very thirsty, something like that.
Which one?
The middle one, the second one. Yeah.
But that's our job. Our job is to increase the service of women and is to increase the population. So we need to be lusty to increase the population. Otherwise, we'll just go back like I don't want any babies. So that's what babies I feel. Do you agree? So if you look at the translation of words 3, this means improper use would be
even those who are doing Krishna conscious activities in deserts.
Yeah, I guess it's just to give the label. Just start the woman if she wants something, like say you want sorry, your husband said, lusty woman, always wanting sorry. I'd say that's an improper use. That would be thing.
Okay.
You have to address those who are in every situation is improper. And also to understand that she's chaste also. So she will be lusty only with the husband, not with everybody.
I lived there for 5 years. I was distant to those for 5 years. Even those who are doing Krishna conscious activities with dogs, like mobiles or etc., see they are committed to Bhakti and the that is inside. What's understanding is those who can't do Krishna conscious activities, born in the desert, are those who are
No, it's just like basically saying that there's just a child they've got the brain substance. I sent this statement to my brother. My family. I said to my mother, here it says that I've got no brain substance. And I was like, no, you're the only one in our family got child being questioned as a joke and sent it. I wouldn't say to anybody else.
last year.
I've got brain substance. Have you
Okay,
some
women
engineers?
already last.
We studied it. Okay, that's why. Otherwise,
Okay, can we have some response? What about this first one about people living in the desert? Persons destined to live in deserts are understood to be sharing the reactions for the sin of Brahma Hatya, the killing of a Brahma. What is some? Yes, Prabhu.
The improper understanding is that those who are living in desert, like for example Dubai or places like that, Sharjah, they all are impious people. This is improper understanding, because even like living, those who are not born there, those who have gone there, they also share that papu means sin. That place is sinful, and they also share that sin. So improper understanding can be that they all are sinful, but proper understanding can be that those who have taken to Krishna consciousness, they do not belong to that category anymore. There are devotees living in Dubai or that area, and they are practicing Krishna consciousness. They are not engaged in sinful activities. Then they are not sinful anymore.
But it's simply saying that they did some sin in the past.
So those who are born there, of course, because of their past sinful activities, they are born over there. But after taking birth there, if they have taken a Krishna consciousness, then they have got rid of their past sinful activities. They are not sinful anymore.
Like those Arabs, the Muslims and Arabs, those who take birth there, they are by birth they sinful because they are from the very beginning of life they are doing so many sinful activities. So like that, because of their past sinful activities, they are put again into that condition where they will continue doing sinful activities.
Well, people may say they're very fortunate, they're very wealthy, they have money, they have opulence.
But they are utilizing it wrongly. So they swiftly go to hell. They are doing all sinful activities using those facilities.
Ravana was also very rich, but he was not using the riches
Misusing
in the service of Lord.
opulence.
Materialistically, in this life they may be enjoying, but next birth again they have to go through. Again they have to take birth, and again they have to go through.
Actually, this opulence is like curse for them. Just like the subterranean planets in lower planetary systems are considered more opulent than Swarga. So the Asuras are granted that opulence because they can forget Supreme Lord completely. So in vast opulence, a person forgets Lord and there is no chance to gain Krishna consciousness, practice Krishna consciousness. So it's like a curse for them.
People may be living in the desert, and I should say they may be pious. Some pious people are there. Not necessarily only Hindu are pious. Muslim people can also be pious. Christian people could also be pious. It's not only Hindus who are pious. You know, you can have pious people from other traditions, other religious sects. Right?
But Maharaj, those who are indulging in eating meat, they are doing it.
Well, I don't know if only meat eating is the only thing. Just somebody taking a little piece of meat somewhere along the, yes, okay, you don't eat meat, okay, that's good. But, there's a lot of other things besides just simply taking some meat. You can't just condemn people because they're meat eaters. you have to see, people can be also quite pious and religious. They may be eating a little meat, they may be meat eaters. There's some conditioning, due to the nature of the life there, that they're accustomed to eat. Sometimes they will eat, sometimes meat. But, you can't say that it must be very sinful people, just on the basis because they eat some meat. I think you have to have more, we have to see more than that. People can be pious and religious. They may eat a little meat. They may eat some meat, but still they can be pious. They can be basically good people. Maybe they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't, do illicit sex. They may have more wives, even. They may have 2 or 3 wives. But that could be their culture. It's not sinful. They're taking care of women.
The way you mentioned piety, I was thinking that this could be more applied to austerity rather than piety, because piety is punya, and meat eating and killing animals will never lead to punya. It's a papa karma.
Mm-hmm.
So piety, in my mind, it was running as its activity which is done as per Vedic injunctions, where it is not harming anyone else. This austerity, they can be austere and religious, but not pious while they're eating meat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just semantics, but I'm just saying that the attitude changes with the use of the word. Because piety is something where you're doing activities which is taking you towards the Lord. And somewhere I can't remember the exact purport, but Prabhupada says if somebody is meat eating, their activities of Krishna consciousness got started.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know that. But we have to understand there's not only Krishna consciousness. There's other.
It could be Allah consciousness, it could be Jesus consciousness. But I'm saying Krishna consciousness in that broader sense has not started if they're eating meat, is what I've understood.
Yeah. But what about people they live in the desert, coming there, right? They're coming there. It said you cannot do any rituals there. No auspicious rituals can be performed. Persons are destined to live there. Of course, some people go there to work. It's a little different. But people who are living there, born there, living there all their lives, then you could say it's the reactions for the killing of a Brahmin. Some kind of sin there to put you into that situation. So what's the right way to use this? What do you say, Messages?
So what we said was that the proper understanding is that it seems like they are sharing the reaction of Brahma Hatya because their life is more austere. For example, the sun is very hot. It's very hot for them a lot of the time. Food is hard to come by, so they don't have choice but to eat meat because it's hard for vegetation to grow in such hot countries. But they're still following religious principles because in the Quran, as long as the animal is killed in a certain way, they're allowed to eat meat. So they're still following religious principles in that way. And also rainwater doesn't come. So in that sense, the proper understanding is they are suffering for some reaction by living there. The improper understanding is that everyone there are sinners. We're all born on earth because we've sinned. We wouldn't be here on earth if we hadn't sinned. But those people in the desert are suffering more than we are. And therefore, we shouldn't be insensitive about it, but we should understand that now they have taken to God consciousness, that they're trying to make an improvement on their understanding. And they may have all this wealth and everything as well, but they understand the basis of that wealth is actually, it comes from God. They live a very God-conscious life according to the Quran or the religion that they're following. They try to follow the principles of that.
Okay. Yeah, you see there in the Middle East, they built some wonderful mosques. My goodness. Some of the mosques are just magnificent. And they really, and they don't just build them in the Middle East. Of course, they give a lot of money to other parts of the world to build mosques. Many of the mosques in Thailand, the money came from the Middle East. They give money in, like there's a big mosque in London, where did they get that money from? I don't think they got it from London, it came from the Middle East, from the Arabs in the Middle East. They put the money in, they give money for these things. And that's proper, should be like that, just like Prabhupada said, people should give money for temples, to build temples. We're building TOBP, we're getting money from other places. Money is also coming from Middle East, like that, some places. Anyway, how to understand a proper use of this. Certainly, we don't want to condemn everyone, that you're all killed brahmanas in your previous lives, and now you're put into this situation living in the desert.
What are those who have taken bath there and they have come out of desert? They have taken bath there.
It's about the decision to live there. Whether you.
That means those we people, those who go for service for 3 years, 5 years, that means we have also destined to live there. We are living there for 5 years, so we are also, that means we have also effects of that Brahmana killing. Destined to live there means the 5 years those who are got for job. We are destined to live there. I have to do some job there. I am doing 5 years or 10 years. I am staying there. So that means I am also in the victim of killing the Brahman. If not, then those who are taking bath there and they are coming out of the desert and staying in a good place for their because that is very hard condition there. They have come out of that place, so they are avoiding that situation. There are two.
Yeah. Some people come out and bring their money out.
Maharaj, two things are there. Two things are there. One is taking birth there itself. That is the earlier result.
Karma.
Now, whoever are going and stay there for 3 years or 5 years, as he said, is it due to the earlier karma that they has destined to live there for some time till that karma is complete?
You don't know? Might be.
Living in a desert like Dubai is not very tough.
Well, desert that's not so much like Dubai, is it? It's not much like desert.
Generally counted as
It's a concrete jungle. Concrete. The desert changed into concrete jungle.
Yeah, and even beautiful parks for that matter.
But if you live in somewhere, out in the remote region somewhere, then it's the desert. You go out of Dubai, out of the city, and it's still desert there, but not in the city itself.
Here in India itself, we need not to go to Dubai. In our India, Jaisalmer, Bikaner, these are very tough places. I have been there for 3 years now.
Rajasthan is the desert, right? There are many deserts. Okay, let's go on to the next one about the women. Their continuous lusty desires are never satisfied. Anybody like to comment on this, Maharaji? Yeah?
The proper understanding is Stree means it means expanding. So we are population will, number of members in the family will increase, so obviously the desires will be there. So the proper understanding is that in one way we are lusty, but lusty for the family members and everything. An improper way of saying is not that always women are lusty with everybody, but they may be lusty with the husband only. So they're chaste. In that way.
All right. Very good. Anybody? Oh, yes, Rico?
I thought that this is the lusty desires are for need of things, not necessarily sexual. And it is more applicable for women who are not in Krishna consciousness. And because women who are trying to follow the regime of Krishna consciousness are naturally controlled by the regulatory principles.
Uh-huh.
And so the proper understanding is that this is applicable to women in general. And the improper understanding is where we apply the same statement onto our Vaishnavis. This is an improper way of understanding.
The improper way was?
When we apply this statement onto the Vaishnavis following Krishna consciousness,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and then say all women are very lusty.
Yes.
And even lusty not necessarily means sexual lust. It could just mean need for things. And that is natural for women, whether Vaishnavis
Yeah,
or not.
women like to go shopping.
Yeah, yeah.
Strong desire for materialistic items. Other than
Yeah,
the-
A little more than men for sure. That's there.
for the economy, you need the women, right? The women do a lot of the
We
spending.
need our sorries.
That is why.
I
That
said
is
we
why.
need more sorries. Sorries are never enough.
That is why our finance minister is also a woman in India.
Huh?
Our finance minister is also a woman in India.
Finance minister, finance
Oh,
minister.
finance minister, that's a woman, is it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
in the Kardamuni's episode, Prabhupada writes that men are generally lusty and women are lusty. When they are lusty, they are very lusty. At 9 times he mentions that. But here it's differently mentioned. He writes that men are generally lusty, but when women are lusty, they are very lusty. And he mentioned that 9 times lusty. So Kadamuni explained the 9 parts, and then satisfied her, and she had 9 daughters. And here the context is coming about not the material desires, but we're talking about the even during pregnancy. So it's talking about the actual sexual desires here, not the material desires. Lust means sexual desires here.
Well, it doesn't, how does it have to be sexual desire?
Because they can satisfy their lust desires during pregnancy also. So
Even during pregnancy, they have lusty desires to have so many things: ice cream, stammer, these are all lusty desires.
Okay. Okay, then there was one more, right? What was the other one?
Having no brain stuff.
Huh?
The next one was about
50,
people who don't
50,
chant, got
verse
brain.
number 50.
Yes, right.
A non-Vaishnava who is not engaged in service of the Supreme Personality of God is considered a fool, small, quantity, and substance.
Yeah?
The 50th verse, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Proper way of understanding this is the way properly.
Yes. A non-Vaishnava, one who is not engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is considered a fool with a small quantity of brain substance. You could say Prabhupada is quoting from Bhagavad Gita. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods. Their fruits are limited and temporary. So, what is proper use of this and what is improper?
So Maharaj, I would say like the proper understanding is that we haven't understood the purpose of why we're here on earth. So we may be worshipping the demigods for more opulence, or we may do so many things with our life, but not actually use it for God. So although we might have brain substance, we're not actually using it for the right purpose. And the improper understanding is thinking anyone who's not a devotee or a God conscious, then all of them are they've got no brain.
Yes? We think we are the only ones with brains, right? Everybody else is a fool. No brain. So is that correct?
They have brain, but they are not utilizing it properly. As a scientist, they are creating these rockets, everything that requires a huge intelligence. But they're using that, misusing that intelligence.
Okay.
Instead of like applying Krishna consciousness. Like we had T.D. Singh Maharaj. What was his name, Maharaj? T.D. Singh? Scientist Maharaj. Bhakti Sodha Maharaj. He was a scientist, but when he became Krishna conscious, he applied the teachings in helping the scientists how to understand Krishna consciousness through science.
So definitely we do want to be careful how we present these statements to the public. You know, if we say outright, anybody who's not a devotee, they're just a fool, no brain, then we will get problems, right? When I speak to people like that, we have to be careful how we present this. So, what would be the proper way to do it? What did you say, Maliji?
It's just to understand that like Prabhupada saying, that they're not using their brains in the correct way, but it doesn't mean that they don't have intelligence. They are intelligent, they do have brain substance, but it's just used for something else. So we don't think anybody who's not God conscious is brainless.
Yes?
I understood it in a different way. I thought the Prabhupada is saying that any person who is a non-Vaishnava, even if he has had a lot of material success, we should not follow them because they are brainless. Because a person who doesn't have brain can't lead us. And hence our learning, because obviously we are not going to go and tell somebody that you are brainless. Our learning is only, in application is that we don't follow them.
We don't follow.
Yeah, because they are brainless. Because even if they have a lot of brain which cannot be utilized in the direction which I want, then they are brainless. We don't go and tell it on their face, but you just don't follow them, that's it.
Yeah, well, it's stated like that in 11th Canto, when they're describing incarnations in the age of Kali, right? Krishna Varnam Tavisha Krishna Sangopansu. That one who is engaged in Sankirtan, then his brain is Sumedasa. Sumedasa means purified intelligence. But the worshippers of the demigods, then their brains are different. Then it's Alpa Medasa. So there is a distinction there, that Medasa means the intelligence. So Alpa Medasa, Prabhupada said their brain is like stool. In one lecture, Prabhupada said their brain is like stool. They're very alpha, very meager, very small or sometimes Prabhupada would say less intelligent. Less intelligent. Prabhupada's English. We never hear that in England, but Prabhupada would say less intelligent. It's an interesting way of describing lack of intelligence. Less intelligent.
Maharaj, just thinking in Bhagavad Gita, it's nice also because it explains that we also shouldn't disturb the minds of such people. We should meet them where they're at and try to raise their consciousness. So that's why we don't make that bold statement by saying you're less intelligent. We say, okay, great, wonderful, you got this intelligence, and maybe do a little bit more and just encourage them where they're at rather than knock them down by making such harsh statements.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, we have to know how to preach. Prabhupada could go and he gave the lecture in Calcutta to the Rotary Club or Lions Club, and he lectured about people who are like hogs, dogs, camels, and asses, and how they praise other people who are hogs, dogs, camels, and asses. And Prabhupada gave the lecture, and they were all laughing and applauding, and they say, "Thank you, Swamiji, you've spoken very nice." And Prabhupada came out and he said to the devotees, he said, "I have called them all hogs, dogs, camels, and asses," and they have applauded. They have appreciated, they clapped, and they liked it. He said, "That's preaching, that you can get your message across without offending people. We definitely want to be careful. We don't want to upset. We don't want to upset the cart, throw out the baby with the bathwater. Okay. So we hear about Indra sharing his reactions, but after Vishwarup was killed, then the father of Vishwarup was really upset, and he's taking action, and he wants to get some revenge on Indra, so he got the mantra wrong, right? Somehow when he was chanting the mantra, he made some mistake with the mantra, and he got it, and it ended up, he didn't get somebody who was Indra's enemy, but he got someone who was the enemy of Indra. The enemy of Indra.
Maharaj, meaning that Indra would kill him? That's the meaning? Enemy of Indra?
Meaning that Indra was he was Indra's enemy, but he doesn't think Indra is his enemy. It's not, like, okay, they're the enemy, we're going to kill them, they want to kill the enemy, but it wasn't like that. It was Indra wants to kill the demon, but the demon, he's not thinking Indra's my enemy.
Oh, okay.
And what happens is you'll see that Vritrasura, he wants to be killed. He wants to go back to Godhead. He wants to get free of that curse. So that's the idea. Just like, because he's a devotee, devotees don't have enemies, right? What is it said in the Goswami Astakam? Dira Dira Rajana Priyo Priyakaro. The Goswamis were loved by the gentle and the ruffians because they were not envious of anybody. So the same way Prahlad Maharaj was telling his father, his father was thinking, deal with the enemy, but Prahlad's telling his father, no father, everybody, you should see everyone the same, we're all the same. Love everybody, be kind to everyone. But Hiranyakashipu, the demon, he sees friend and enemy, make distinction, separate out who's the friend, who's the enemy. Who is the enemy, we'll have them killed, right? And like that. So Indra, this demon, is Indra's enemy. But the demon's not thinking Indra is my enemy. Alright, so we hear about the creation, a fearful personality looked like the destroyer of the entire creation at the end of the millennium. So very powerful. And the demon's body grows day after day, tall and blackish, like a burned hill, as lustrous as a bright array of clouds, and then the hair on the demon's body, his beard and moustache were copper-colored, his eyes were piercing, dancing and shouting with a loud voice. The surface of the earth trembled as if from an earthquake. His mouth was as deep as a cave. He seemed to be licking up the stars in the sky with his tongue. So there's some of the descriptions of the demon, not very pleasant. So this demon, this is Vishwarupa's brother. Vishwarupa got killed, so this is the brother of Vishwarupa. Twasta had created this one from the fire. And he covered all the planetary system by dint of austerity. Therefore he was named Vritra, one who covers everything. So the demigods come and attack them, and what happens? The demigods come and attack this big demon. The demon just swallows their weapon. Vritrasura swallowed all their weapons.
Very tasty.
Good lunch, huh? Swallowed all the weapons, the arrows, the spears, everything they threw at him. Nothing. Bows and arrows, everything got swallowed. So the demigods are shocked, struck with wonder and disappointment. They lost their own strength. So what do they do now? They met together, tried to please Lord Narayan. So they begin to worship the Lord. So that when you're in danger, when things are when you're in trouble, we have to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. And we only go to Krishna, we don't know anybody else. There's a pastime, Maharaj Ambarish was worshipping, and the Lord wanted to test him. So he disguised himself as the Supreme Lord disguised himself as Indra, and he came to Maharaj Ambarish and said, I will give you benediction. He said, no, I only take from the Supreme Lord. I only want benediction from the Lord. And so he said, I will give you the same benediction, whatever the Lord will give you, I can give you. But he said, no, I won't take from you, I can only take from the Lord. So then even the Lord got his weapon, he got the Brajra weapon, and he said, you take from me or else. Maharaj Ambarish said, you do what you like, but I can only take from the Supreme Lord. So he was tested, Maharaj Ambarish was tested, that his faith was only to take benediction, to take any benediction, must come from the Supreme Lord, not from any other personality. So when we're in danger, we could pray to demigods, like some people pray to Ganesh and so on. It's popular, worship Ganesh to overcome the obstacles. But we just pray to Krishna. Even in the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it talks about worshipping Ganesh. That before you begin worship, you should first worship Ganesh. But Prabhupada didn't want to do that. Prabhupada didn't do that. the Hyderabad temple, when they opened Hyderabad temple, one, I think it was a Chulananda, I think, a Chulananda said to Prabhupada, he said, Prabhupada, if we put Lord Shiva Linga here, he said everybody will come. He said everybody here worships Lord Shiva in this town. You know, behind the back we have Gaunitai, Radha Madan Mohan, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra. But he said, this time everybody's a Shiva devotee. They should worship Lord Shiva. We should put a Shiva Linga here. Everybody will come. Prabhupada said, no. He said, put Shiva there, they'll think it's all the same. They'll think Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, everybody is one. It's all the same. So we don't want to do that.
Maharaj, in this regard, Ganesh worship, we are called Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami, and here Prabhupada is not doing what Rupa Goswami is recommending. How to reconcile that?
Well, you have to understand times have changed. Prabhupada is following his spiritual master. Do you see the Gaudiya Mathapur, the Shiva Linga there? No. You go to Chaitanya Math, you go there, you see any Shiva Linga there?
There is,
Huh?
it's there, it's behind the neem tree.
Where?
Behind the neem tree.
That's at the birthplace.
Yeah.
That's for a different reason. Because Kshetrapal, Lord Shiva Kshetrapal is the protector of the Dham. But you don't just put Shiva Linga here and there, everywhere. Anyway, Prabhupada didn't want to put. We didn't see Prabhupada put anywhere Shiva Lingas. We wanted Krishna, Radha Krishna, Gaurnika, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. We said if we put start to put everybody there, they'll think it's all one. Now we have, of course, in Jagannath Mandir we have Simantini Devi, but that's in relation to Chaitanya Leela. It's a Chaitanya Leela pastime. That's why she's there. It's not we're just worshipping Simantini on her own, but she's there with Lord Gauranga. Mm-hmm. What time is it?
1 o'clock.
1.
1 o'clock. What time is it? 1:30, no?
1, yeah.
Huh?
Another half an hour to go to.
1:30.
1:30.
1:30. Okay. Alright. So, when we're in a fearful situation, the demigods are in a fearful situation, they take shelter of the Supreme Lord. The demigods themselves take shelter of the Lord. You don't see, they're not taking shelter of Lord Shiva, they're taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. And they give the example, the demigods give the example. They said, a person who desires to be protected by others is certainly a fool who desires to cross the sea by holding the tail of a dog. How can you cross the sea holding the tail of a dog? Impossible. The dogs can also swim a little bit. Some people take their dogs swimming with them. The dogs also like to go and swimming. But you can't swim across the sea. You can hold the tail. How long you can hold the tail? So in the same way, you take shelter of somebody other than the Supreme Lord, you're not going to get success. not going to protect you. You need to take shelter of the Lord. Demigods give another example. Manu was saved by the Matsya avatar. So may that fish incarnation protect us from this demon, Vishra, son of Twashta. Even Lord Brahma was on top of the lotus flower, and there were big waves below him, but he was saved by the help of the Lord. So the Lord is always there to help us. But the demigods also say we are unable to see him. Why? Because all of us think that we are God. Because we think we are God, so we're not qualified to see God. Krishna says in Bhagavad, what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Who doesn't see him? What kind of people cannot see him? I am never manifest to the foolish. No. Naham prakasha sarva yogamaya samavita mudayam navijanati lokamam majam. Oh yeah, I am never manifest to the foolish and the unintelligent. For them I am covered by my eternal creative potency, yogamaya. So we are thinking we are God, but we cannot create a universe. We cannot see or understand the Supreme Lord. So the demigods, they say, by his inconceivable internal potency. The Lord has inconceivable potencies. Inconceivable means beyond the power of our tiny brain. Our brains are so limited, we cannot understand him fully. But the Lord has these powers. And they talk of, in the purport, Prabhupada talks about this idea that Prakriti and Purusha are the causes of the cosmic manifestation. Prakriti and Purush. Everything comes from Prakriti and Purush. The Jnanavadis may say this, the impersonalists, Mayavadis, they say everything is a result of Prakriti and Purusha. So what do we say? How do we deal with this? Prakriti. What is Prakriti? Inferior Prakriti, right? Inferior Prakriti. How many elements?
24 elements.
Okay, so then what about the Purusha? Who is the Purusha?
Krishna.
No, the living entities.
Spirit.
The living entities are thinking they're Purusha. Yeah, Krishna is actually the real Purusha, but due to conditioned life, we're thinking the living entities are Purush. So there's Prakriti and Purush. Does everything come about because of Prakriti and Purusha? Do you get life from life or life from matter?
Life.
Yeah, right. So but you have Prakriti and Purusha. Where are they coming from? Where's the Prakriti coming from? Yeah, it's Krishna's energy, right? It's all Krishna's energy. Umera pona lovayu kammano piderevacha ahankara iti yame vina prakriti astada, right? My separated material energy. And then what about the Purush, the living entities?
Aparayam itis.
Yeah, parayam itastvanyam prakritim vidime param jiva bhuta mahabaho yedam devyate chaka. Besides this, there is another energy
Superior energy.
which are all living entities. But what are they trying to do?
enjoy,
To lord over
enjoy
man.
the lower.
Huh?
To lord over
Avoid the
man.
material nature.
They're trying to exploit this material reality. They're thinking we are the Purusha, we are the enjoyer. We're thinking the Prakriti is for us to enjoy. But we are also Prakriti. We may be superior Prakriti, but we are also Prakriti. Mhm. We also come from the Lord. So, both are not the causes of the cosmic manifestation. Just like scorpions come from the rice. Oh, people think, oh, from the rice the scorpions have come. Where did the scorpions come from? From the eggs that the scorpion laid in the rice. Yes, not just from the rice. And the same way, Prakriti and Purush, it's not the cause of life, but you have to have the seed planted by the Supreme Lord. There has to be this seed from the Supreme Lord, then life comes about. Material nature is not independent. Right? Prabhupada writes, Prakriti and Purush superficially appear to be the causes of the material manifestation. Both are emanations of different energies. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the cause of Prakriti and Purusha. He is the original cause. Both are inferior. Well, Prakriti is the inferior, Purusha is the superior. But they're both emanations from the Supreme Lord. So Krishna Vasudeva is the cause of everything. So the demigods offered their prayers to the Lord, and is he pleased with their prayers? Huh? Is he pleased with their prayers?
No.
Why not?
They're asking for material things.
Yes, because they're asking for something material. What are they asking for?
To kill the demon.
Huh?
To kill the
To kill
demon.
the
Kill the demon, yeah. They're asking the Lord, kill the demon. They want the Lord to do their dirty work. Right? Oh, you have to kill this demon for us. So, the Lord, you can see it described, the Lord appearing surrounded by different people, and he's got his ornaments, and Srivatsa, Kastuba, and the demigods are very pleased. They bow to him, they offer their obeisances. Now they're very fortunate. The demigods offer praise to the Lord. You are the one who releases the chakra to kill the demons. We offer our obeisances unto you. Right? This is, I think, what they want, you know. They want the Lord to do this killing. And they say, your activities are impossible for us to understand. We therefore have nothing to offer to you but our humble obeisances. And they offer nice prayers again, because the Lord has appeared to them. They're thinking the Lord has come, now he will surely kill the demon for us. And so you can see they offer more words of praise, more prayers to the Lord. You're the cause of the manifestation, you supply the ingredients, you create and annihilate. So many words of praise. So it's very difficult, Prabhupada said, very difficult for the conditioned soul to understand that Krishna is present everywhere. That he is in his abode, Goloka, and at the same time he is all pervading. And Prabhupada explains, being all-pervading does not need a transcendental form. According to the Mayavadis anyway, they say that being all-pervasive does not need a the Mayavadis suppose that since his form is everywhere, he has no form. This is untrue. The Lord keeps his form, transcendental form. At the same time, he extends everywhere, in every nook and corner of the material creation. So this is difficult for not ordinary people to understand. So the demigods are confronting the Lord. They say, these are our inquiries. Do you exist within this material body, in a body produced by material modes? Do you enjoy or suffer the good or bad results? We certainly cannot understand your actual position. So this very powerful preaching, you want to try to go through these purports if you get time. And then they say all contradictions can be reconciled in you. Contradictions. What is right, what is wrong, what the Lord can do, what he cannot do. Oh, the Lord has a form, or he has no form. He has a form, but he has no material form. Prabhupada says, distinctions and contradictions are impossible in him, because only from him have they emanated. Everything comes from Krishna, so contradictions also come from Krishna. Prabhupada said, we should not be astonished to find contradictions in Krishna. Actually, there are no contradictions. That is the meaning of his being supreme, because he is all-powerful. He's pleased to protect the devotees by killing their enemies. He enjoys both the killing and the protecting. But the non-devotees, they cannot understand these things. And then the demigods give an example. They say, a rope causes fear for a bewildered person who thinks it's a snake. But a person who knows it's just a rope, he's not worried about it, just a rope, it's not going to harm you. But if you think it's a snake, then you'll be very afraid. So the super soul in everyone's heart inspires some fear or some fearlessness according to one's intelligence. But in Krishna, there is no duality. Everything is one. So that again, the demigods, they pray to the Lord. Bliss flows in the mind for those who taste the nectar. Any devotee who has tasted the nectar of the Lord's lotus feet, then they can never give up that pleasure. They'll never forget, they can never go far away, because that pleasure, the nectar of the pleasure of the Lord's lotus feet was so great. So Prabhupada said, devotees are real friends. Only a pure devotee can preach the glories of Krishna for the benefit of the conditioned souls. Then, this purport here, this is quite an important one. This is text number 40. And you can see Prabhupada's talking about two kinds of devotees, sakama and akama. So pure devotees are akama, no material desire. But devotees in the upper planetary system, even though they're way in the top of the universe, they're demigods, they're sakama, because they still want to enjoy the material object. So sakama devotees, they have material desires, and they get results from the Lord. They desire from the Lord, they pray to the Lord, but they do not immediately get to go back to Godhead. What will they pray for? What will the demigods pray for?
Protection from demons.
Yeah, protect us from this demon, just like they're praying just now. Protect us from this demon, Vritrasura. Yeah, protect us from the demons come to attack the demigods. So they pray for that protection. They want to keep their home in the heavenly planets. They want to stay longer there. So they're praying to the Lord to protect them. But the devotee, there's Niskama devotee and Sakama devotee. What about the Niskama devotee? What will he pray for?
He never prays for any protection or any material benefit.
What will he pray for then?
Only Krishna Prem.
Krishna Prem, yeah, pray, give me Krishna Prem. Well, will they pray for that? Is it going to ask the Lord for that? What will they pray for?
Service to the Lord.
Service, yeah, they want service. That's what they want. Okay, pure devotee is aware that since nothing is unknown to Krishna, he need not be informed of a devotee's convenience and inconveniences. A pure devotee knows there's no need to ask for any material necessities. Right? Do we see some examples of that? Pure devotees, they didn't ask for anything.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Yeah. What did he say?
He said, don't give anything.
He said, I am not a businessman, right?
I'm a panic.
Yeah. He said, I'm not in the business. So, anybody else? Kolavika Sridhar. What did he pray?
May Lord come again and again to buy bananas from me.
He said, I just want to go on. Whatever income I get, 50% I spend to do what? Worship the Ganga. Yeah, every day worship the Ganga. 50% of his income will go to worship Mother Ganga. I'm happy. He said, Lord Chaitanya said, look, Sridhar, your home is all broken down, there's holes in the roof, your cloth is all ragged, you have an iron pot to drink water, you know, you're in such a poverty-stricken condition. You must want something. He said, no, I'm okay. The bird lives in his nest and the king lives in his palace. Everyone gets according to our past deeds, yeah, we get. So, why I should change? It's all temporary. So, proper rights. A devotee, a pure devotee, will do service without demanding anything. The Lord is present everywhere. He knows the necessities of his devotees. There's no need to disturb him by asking for material benefit. So this is very important point, right?
Maharaj, when we ask for service, I mean, of course, I'm not a pure devotee, but even then, while asking, should we ask that I want this kind of service, I want that kind of service, or just say service? Can we?
Well, you can ask. You may not get, but you can ask. No harm in asking. You don't have a particular desire. You may not, you know. Usually, if you're patient, wait then in time you get, you may not immediately get.
But because he knows everything, he knows what kind of service we want also.
Yeah. So here's Prabhupada's purpose, very nice. He talks about taking the shelter of the lotus feet. He said, just like you come under a big tree, so you're no longer affected by the heat. So you don't have to ask for relief. Conditioned souls suffer because of being in the material world, but they can get shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So the demigods say, well, he already swallowed all of our weapons. They're still going on, they're asking, we want something. And then, while the demigods were offering the prayers, the Lord was listening. He was just listening to them. Now, then he replies to them. And he says, yeah, he said, I'm very pleased with you. Very nice prayers. Very good.
Very good. But he was not pleased, no?
But
Actually, he
at
was
the
not.
same time, yeah, he said, it's true that nothing is difficult for when I'm pleased. A pure devotee does not ask, he says, a pure devotee does not ask me for anything but the opportunity to engage in devotional service. Right? And those who want material things, what does he say? He said they're fools. And person who will give them material things, he's also the fool. The fools reward other fools. If one gives what he desires by fool, if you give what the foolish person wants, then you're also a fool. The Lord is saying like that. Why I should give you? I will also be a fool if I give you. So you have to be careful. Who do we give things to? And the demigods, they also want benedictions, and it's just lust. So anyway, he tells Indra, he said, I think you should approach this person, Dagichi. He's very accomplished in knowledge, vows, and austerities. His body is very strong. Go ask him for his body without delay. Get his body. He's telling Indra what to do. He said, I'm not going to kill the demon for you, but you want help? Go to this Dadichi. He can help you. And he tells him about the history of Dadichi, how he did something, how he helped Ashwini Kumaras, and how he gave them knowledge. And then he said, Dadichi's invincible protective covering, known as the Narayana Kavacha, was given to Twashta. It was Dadichi's Narayana Kavacha. And he gave it to Twashta, the father of Vishwarup.
And Twashta gave to Vishwarup.
Yeah, and Twashta gave it to Vishwarup. Because of this Narayana Kavacha, Dadichi's body is now very strong. You should therefore beg him for his body. And then from his bones you can make the thunderbolt weapon, and that way you can use that to kill Vritrasura. Right? And he even tells them, although Vritrasura can destroy the three worlds, do not fear that he will harm you. He is also a devotee and will never be envious of you. Material world, everybody is envious. But this demon Vritrasura, he is a devotee. Although he's in a demon body, he's a devotee, and he's never envious. So this is wonderful news. And how Prabhupada writes about the nature of Krishna, he's not afraid to die. For a devotee, there's no difference between living and dying. In this life, the devotee serves the Lord, and when he dies, he goes to serve in some other place. So that is the mood of Adichi, of Vritrasura as well.
Maharaj, so Vritrasura is not Vishwarupa.
Vritrasura,
Is not Vishwarupa.
no. Vishwarupa got killed, right?
So,
They cut off his head.
so he is his brother.
Yes, the younger brother.
He came up from fire.
Yeah, from the fire, by the yagya of Twasta. Yes?
In the beginning, Devatas, the demigods approached Brahma after he was not respected, so Brihaspati left. Then they approached Brahma and he suggested him to go for this
Vishwarupa.
Vishwarupa. Now, demigods directly prayed for Lord only, without going to Brahma.
Yes. Because they were in fear, they were in danger, right? This big demon is coming to attack them. So they prayed to the Supreme Lord. Before, what happened when they got defeated by the demigod, by the demons, that time then they went to Brahma, because Brahma is also like their head. You know, he's the head, the chief demigod. And so they went to him because it was unusual that usually they would always defeat the demons. But somehow this time the demons defeated them. So what has happened? So they they were discussing with themselves. That time Brahma comes and either they went to him or he came there, but they were all discussing among themselves what happened. How was it we got defeated by the demons? Right? So then the second time here, after they got the demon coming after them, so they're in trouble. So they prayed to the Lord.
And Indra, he is habitual offender. First time he offended Vaishwati, and immediately after some days again he has killed the Brahmana. So he is habitual offender. Regularly he is doing all of it.
Yes. Yeah, interest. But he's a great soul. You can't condemn him because he's in that very big position. He's doing great service on behalf of the Lord as the King of Heaven. Somebody has to be the king, somebody has to be in charge. And he's taking charge. And he had to deal with the situation. He killed Vishwarupa in his anger. That's the problem. He's not a pure devotee. He gets angry. Pure devotees also get angry. Right? The pure devotees also get angry. The four Kumaras, when they were going to Vaikuntha, they got angry. They could not get past the doorkeepers. They got angry. Prabhupada says that pure devotees also can get angry.
So they are, when they four Kumaras got angry, that time they were not devotees, no? They are not devotees.
Yeah, not exactly devotees.
They are not exactly.
But they became devotees.
Afterwards,
Lord Padmanabha came there. Yeah. Okay, we have to stop. Yeah, we better end. Hare Krishna.
This unit, next unit, no BA.
What unit is it? What unit is it?
26th.
This is for sharing.
Last week it was over. Presentation internal lecture was over last week.
Was over last week. So now we just have unit 26, 27, but no essay.
No OBE, only CBA. This week, 3 more classes are there. Next, CBA will be there. But next week is very tight. You know, I think.
Yeah, I've got the time. I just wanted to know about whether we had an essay, a CBA,
No,
OBA.
for 26, for 27, no OBE.
OBA.